On today's episode, we're talking about name, image, and likeness and NFTs. From EngageMint, I'm David Millay, and this is Flip the Switch. Quick plug before we get to our guest introduction today. If you're focused on guest experience or employee experience, definitely go check out our email newsletter. As we work with pro teams and college athletic departments around the country, we're taking the lessons that we learn from our experiments and our projects, and we're putting those insights into the newsletter. A couple of times per week, you'll get everything from the articles and content that are inspiring us to innovate, as well as new tools that we're using and loving. If you get value from this show, you're going to love the newsletter. To sign up, head to engagementpartners.com/newsletter. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Flip the Switch, where normally we sit down with leaders and executives in customer experience, employee experience, and we try to figure out what trends they're paying attention to, what experiments they're running, what are the insights that drive success in their career. And then we take those insights and we apply them to the world of sports and entertainment. Now, today's episode is a little bit different because we're not sitting down with an executive. We're actually sitting down with our first student athlete that we've ever had on the show. And appropriately, if we're going to have a student athlete on the show, why not go big? We were blessed to have Luka Garza join us, the 2021 Naismith Trophy Award winner, the AP College Basketball Player of the Year, Lute Olson National Player of the Year, Senior Class Award, Iowa All-Time Leading Scorer, Wooden Award winner, Luka Garza. Now, Luka came on the show to talk about something that's near and dear to his heart, which is NFTs and NIL and the combination of both of those things. So a couple, let's call it a couple weeks ago now, I guess, maybe early last month or late last month, early this month, Luka was the first student athlete to create and sell his own NFT. And now there have been a bunch of players that have followed suit, trying to replicate the success that Luka had when launching his NFT. Now, also a special day, on the day of this recording, Luka and his team announced the creation of a new group called Luka Garza NFT Group.io. So what the heck is this new group that Luka and his team are creating? Well, going through the process that they went through, creating their own NFT, they really are seeking out to tackle this challenge of how does name, image, and likeness combine with NFT to allow creators, artists, student athletes, musicians, a new way to monetize on their name, image, and likeness, and doing that through NFTs. So the mission of this group is really to help these athletes, artists, musicians, students on monetizing that NIL, and that includes things other than NFT as well. Ultimately, this group also can help administrators, the NCAA, athletic directors to really understand how this world of NFT works. And it really provides a solution to the current conversation around player revenues that are often talked about in a zero-sum game economics type of conversation. This is now creating new money into the marketplace as opposed to having to have student athletes split the money between the incumbents and student athletes, if you will. So we are linking to the website in the show notes. So if you want to see what Luka Garza NFT Group.io is all about, we're putting the website in the show notes. Now, last thing before we jump into this great episode with Luka, I got to give a special shout out to my Iowa boys for helping me prep for this episode. Some of my best friends are Iowa guys, Jerry, Zach, Dave, and Dave. They helped me write a lot of these questions and give me some more insight into what Luka and his team were doing. We're going to link to their Twitter handles in the show because you got to give love to the people that support you. So without further ado, let's get into this episode with Luka Garza. Luka, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we are excited to jump in with you. So you are our first student athlete to come on the show. So normally we have executives from all different types of industries, but I think it's appropriate that we've got the 2021 Naismith Trophy Award winner, AP College Basketball Player of the Year. The list goes on, all the awards that you've won. So I think it's appropriate that you're our first student athlete on the show, and you've got some big news. So we're excited to get into what you guys have been doing.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
All right, so let's talk first high level, right? Really weird year that you guys just closed out. No fans in attendance in the stadiums, in the arenas. What was the biggest lesson that you learned from a branding perspective on connecting with fans, even though they weren't in the venue?
Yeah, no, it was obviously a unique year in that aspect. We had no fans, we had no connection, to our fan base throughout the entire year. We were kind of out there on the court by ourselves, which is, something that was different. But I think it kind of built us as a team, and was special for our group. But I think it was kind of just awesome to be able to experience what the internet and everything, Twitter, and how much people came together through social media and different things like that to support us. And we felt the support of Hawkeye Nation throughout the entire year in that way. And I think obviously with the rise of our team, I think we were put on a national media scale that we had never really been on before. In my experience at Iowa, obviously you play a game, you check ESPN after, and they're playing the highlights on SportsCenter. That was something that we weren't accustomed to before, and that was just speaking to the success of our team. And I think that just made it really, really, great for our fan base to be able to follow us. If they miss a game, they could just check SportsCenter and see, everything like that. So I think that, I think it just kind of increased the brand of University of Iowa basketball in general. I think we became more well known, to everybody as one of the better teams in the country. So I think that was a very cool experience.
I love it. Yeah. And I think you said something in there too around the internet really allowing you guys to be able to connect to this broader fan base than what traditionally might just be in the arena. And that kind of brings us to some of the really cool things that you guys are working on around NFTs and what technology has allowed us to do to be able to connect with different fans. So you were the first student athlete to really come out with your own NFT, if you will. That was a great, successful auction on OpenSea, but we'll talk about some of the challenges you guys might have faced there. But what sparked your initial interest in NFTs, and where were you learning about those from first?
I'm an economics major, so I've understood the tech world, and I've heard about NBA Top Shot and different things like that. So I was always interested in what it was, and I knew what it was. And my dad was the same way. He was also big into the tech industry as well. So he kind of brought the idea towards me about possibly doing one of my own, and it was different, something that no one had done before. And I kind of like that. I kind of like being, the first person to be able to embark on something like this, and obviously to start, monetizing my brand. But it was important for me to make it different, to make it different than, a usual one. And that, involved all the utilities that came with the card. Obviously, my game worn shoes, me being able to actually meet the person, go to dinner and play a game of horse, meditation session, all these sorts of things. And also, being able to give some of that money back to charity, to the Children's Hospital at the University of Iowa, which was something that was really important to me. And it's awesome. Obviously the auction went well. I just zoomed and met, the person who won my card, and he's a great guy, and I'm looking forward to continue to know him and build more of a connection with him.
So for those people that aren't as familiar with NFTs, maybe talk a little bit about the value of being able to tie those experiences to this non-fungible artwork, if you will, that initially is kind of the tangible thing that you're selling, but talk about how those experiences tie in and what the value that the technology actually provides for fan building and interaction.
I think it's just a really cool all-around package that comes with, with my first NFT, was everything that came with it. Obviously, the token itself, the non-fungible token, was a very cool piece of artwork, and it's a one of one, basically digital trading card. And as a kid, I was big into collecting trading cards and different things like that. And then as you've seen the growth of Top Shot and how cool, people are really enjoying these moments, these things like this on these NFTs, because it's like a trading card. It's something collectible. It's one of one. It's only yours. No one else can have it. You were the exclusive owner of it, which makes it really cool. And then when you package that with different things that you can get with winning the NFT, it's kind of a cool bundle, if you will, of different memorabilia or collectibles or experiences that you get to know with the athlete. So it's not only just you're getting all of the stuff, you're also getting to meet me and different things like that. And that's what I thought was special about that, as well as your money is also going to a good cause, because a portion of it is for me is going to the University of Iowa Children's Hospital, which is something that I thought was different, and I haven't seen that done before. And I just, obviously I'm very passionate about doing that.
I love that you did that with the money, and that's where you kind of were focused there. The NFT aspect of it, the experiences that you talked about, being able to Zoom with a fan, I do think that NFTs in general let us connect and create those deeper emotional connections one-on-one with fans. I mean, that fan that you Zoomed with, that guy's going to be talking about that for years to come as the highlight and the pinnacle of his experience with Iowa athletics. And so anyway,
Exactly.
go ahead.
Exactly. I mean, when you buy a trading card from the store, you don't get to meet the person. You don't get to meet the person on the card. So this makes it a little bit different. You are buying it from me. It's not through some other different kind of way. When you're buying the trading card, you're buying the NFT. You get to have that connection with the person. So I think that's what's special. I think that's what makes NBA Top Shot. That's what's going to make individual NFTs from different players special. Is there is that kind of connection.
Let's kind of shift gears a little bit. I want to talk about some of the application within the NCAA of this, right? Your teammate, Jordan Bohannon, he's been heavily involved in the non-NCAA property movement. And NIL obviously is, I mean, really hot right now this week as we talk about it. How do you see NFTs playing a role in NIL and the future of NIL, really about allowing college athletes to kind of monetize their fandom?
I think the biggest thing with the NFT and with NIL is that, this NFT, it doesn't cost anything to the NCAA. They don't have to pay us a salary. That's not what people are looking for. We're looking for the ability to monetize off our name, image, and likeness, which is ours. And so I think, obviously I'm so blessed and grateful to have played in the NCAA and to have been an athlete at this level. It changed my life forever and special. But I think when we're moving towards the future, I think this is a good way for a different revenue stream to be created for the athletes. That has nothing to do with the NCAA. We're not taking money from the NCAA and giving it to ourselves, and we're just making the money off our own name and not even having to deal with the NCAA much if NIL is passed or something like that. So I see it as a kind of solution that can help. If people are able to monetize off their names, then they can do this, and we're not asking the NCAA to pay us salaries. We're not asking to get involved with all the advertisements that the schools already have. We're doing something completely different that is unique, and it doesn't bother anything the NCAA is already doing itself. So I think that's it's a unique solution, but I think it can definitely work as there's always a room for trading cards. That will always be something that's special to people, is that memorabilia, collecting things, doing things like that. That's just human nature. So I think this is a really cool way that can help in that regard.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? I mean, we do a lot of work with college athletic departments on the business end of things. And when I look at a lot of the revenue sharing bills that are out there, part of how I look at that, I'm like, I see the P&Ls that people are looking at. I'm like, I don't know where this extra money is going to be coming from because there's already so heavy expenses. But if athletic departments can start to shift their mindset to start thinking, well, how can we become a place where we empower student athletes to go generate additional revenue and build the brand? They're going to be in a lot better spot. And I think that's how you guys are looking at it with this new company. Is that right? Tell us a little bit about that.
100%. For sure. I'm launching that Luka Garza NFT group.io, which is going to be hopefully a place that other college athletes, once NIL is passed, can come to have these NFTs made for them, have it, much easier process. Obviously with me having to deal with the whole process of making it myself is different. So going through me as a third party in my group and our team, and we'll be able to help that and create NFTs and hopefully, help people monetize their name, image, and likeness like they've been wanting to do in an efficient way. And like you said, this is a new revenue stream for the NCAA or for the college athletes, and we're not taking money out of the NCAA contracts or the TV contracts. We're not taking any of that money. We're creating our own revenue by doing something like this. And that's why I think, I've already had different athletes come to me and ask me what the NFT is. What does that look like? How do you do that? And I feel like, with my success in the first one, and obviously, I'll be launching another one soon with the success of that one, hopefully, I'll have a good enough resume to show that I have a model that can help you do this in the most efficient and the best way possible. And I think that's all I'm trying to get across is we're trying to help you, be able to do that with all the hassle of having to figure everything out. Like our team was able to do for the first one successfully.
I have so many more questions now as we talk about this new group that you formed, Luka Garza NFT group. Maybe we start here. I mean, what were some of the challenges that you faced going through that initial NFT creation process with OpenSea? That obviously there was enough challenges there or enough learnings there that you learned that you started the own group. Maybe talk to us about some of that process and what you learned from it that informed the creation of this new group.
I think there was just, a lot of things we had to do, to kind of start this with the digital wallet, with the whole setup, with the artwork, having to figure out, what images, different things like that, to not get caught up in anything. I think it was important in the way we did that. But, I think the thing that our team's going to help is that, that I had a great team to help me to do that. Not a regular college athlete isn't going to have the people around him to be able to do that successfully every single time, unless, you sign with somebody or do something like that, which, you won't be able to do
Right.
with NIL being passed. You'll still have to go about this a different way. So with that is a solution I provide, is an easier way to do this, that, you don't have to, pay someone else a different percentage of this and this and this, and then you're stacking up your profit, and you look and, you gave most of your money away to people to create the NFT in general. So I think we provide a solution to that, with helping you take care of everything that, involves the NFT if you come to us to be able to do that. And that's why we're going to be different than, just trying to do it on your own. Is because we have the model that has been successful, proven to be successful, and we're going to help you be successful with it as well. So I think that's just what it's important about it. And also, this is a lens of a college student. I've been there. I've experienced this as much as you have. It's not big business. I'm not a huge corporation company that's trying to take advantage of you. No, I want you to be successful. I want you to make money off your name, image, and likeness. And obviously, with the 14 states that are passing this in July, I think that's going to be the start of it, is trying to help some of those guys, be able to do this and make some money for themselves, through this way. And that's why I feel like it's kind of a cool opportunity for me to be able to help people, and obviously continue to give back. And obviously, with my model, there's a whole bunch of stuff that comes with it that I'm excited to share with whoever, joins the group.
Yeah, I mean, this is great. And especially, I think, from your legacy as a student athlete, being able to go out and give back and be on the leading edge of helping these student athletes that follow in your footsteps, being able to monetize that name, image, and likeness. I mean, one, kudos for doing this. But I have a ton more questions. So real quick, so do you think that your primary customer of Luka Garza NFT group, is it going to be the organizations and the athletic departments themselves? Or do you envision student athletes of all different types of sports coming to you guys from a consumer basis? Is it going to be more of a B2B product focus, or is it going to be more of a B2C product focus, you think?
I think it's going to be more of the student athletes coming to us individually. Obviously we haven't started it, or, even, started that process. So we don't know yet. And we'll figure out along the way. But I think this is a way, because, a college athlete can come and we can help him do his own card. We can continue to do that for many, many different athletes. And I think that was kind of the idea of it. In general, was just to be able to help people, help players do this in any sport and any, thing, to be able to monetize their name, image, and likeness, because they probably won't have the resources that I did. And obviously I was done with my college career, was done my eligibility. So I was able to do a lot of different things and have a lot of people around me to help me successfully pull this off. But in college, there are going to be players, once NIL is passed, that aren't going to be able to do it. So how do they do this efficiently? How do they get this out effectively? How are they able to do this? And that is where we come in, and to be able to provide a solution to their answers, and hopefully help them, make some money off their name, and start to build their own brands.
Beautiful. We've got Jim Cavale from Influencer coming on the show later this week. So I'm curious, will you guys integrate with some of these more traditional tools that might be there? Have you given thought to that yet?
Honestly, obviously I know, Mr. Cavale, he's been very supportive of me throughout my career, and he's been awesome. And what he's done with the Influencer app is so cool. And it helps the college athletes so much, especially, I remember freshman year when we'd play a game and we're looking through the internet of what pictures we like. But then, now you just go to the app and every picture of you is just right there. And that really helps with obviously being able to express yourself on social media and push your own brand without, obviously monetizing off it, but push your own brand by posting on social media all these cool pictures. So I think that's a really, really cool thing. I actually haven't thought of that at all. And I think that could be interesting to have some conversation.
You guys are still in day one, right? I don't blame you for having not thought through every aspect of it.
Exactly.
You guys have already thought through so many great aspects of it. I mean, I actually see you guys, from what little I know, just from this conversation, I see you guys as building on, you're the next level of that, right? Where influencer, as I saw it, was really about helping you build your brand, and you guys, it appears, is really about helping monetize that brand and even take it
exactly.
Next step. All right. Well, so as we wrap up here, we got a couple more questions. Obviously, our audience tends to be a lot of senior leaders in sports and entertainment, but for leaders specifically in college athletics that are in this space, grappling with NIL and the future implications, what advice might you give to them from your unique perspective as a student athlete?
I think, the biggest thing for me is that, every athlete's grateful for our experience in college athletics. We are grateful for the opportunity to perform at that level and on that stage. But I think at a certain point, everybody has to understand that, we as athletes, bring a lot of revenue to the schools, to the NCAA and different things like that. And we should have the right to kind of use our own names in our own way to create revenue for ourselves and not take money away from anybody else, not any contracts, like I said, or anything with the NCAA, but able to use it, ourselves. Why can't there be, a Luka Garza camp when I'm in college? Why can't I start helping kids in that way and being able to profit myself in that way? Or, obviously, why can't I do an NFT in college? That has nothing to do, with the NCAA. That's just my own name. It's my own image. It's my own likeness. So I think that's the biggest thing. And I've been a guy who's been appreciative of the NCAA every single step of the way. But once you see the way the future is going, I saw this now as an opportunity to kind of help people, that with that transition, obviously I'm starting to go through it with being able to monetize off my name for the first time ever. But now, when college kids can do this, I think I saw that as an opportunity to help those guys be able to do that while they're still in college. So, I think that's what's really cool about it. And obviously there's been a lot of progress, and Jordan Bohannon's done a lot of great work, but it's important to me that this isn't, a player against the NCAA. This is just kind of a collaboration that, we're in an understanding that, okay, if NIL's passed, I'm going to make my money for myself, and I'm not going to bother or take anything away from the NCAA. And that's why it has, no effect on them. And that's why, I think that it should be passed.
I love it. Well, it's so good, because I think the question that you've brought up is basically about helping college senior leaders, at least from my perspective, say, how might we turn this from a zero-sum game where there's winners and there's losers, and how might we actually create a place where we all can win and we can all generate more revenue and ultimately all connect with our fans on a deeper level. And that's why I love what you guys are doing.
Thank you. I appreciate it. That's the whole point of this, is that, everyone's winning. The NCAA is still making their money off us and off us playing and off the schools, off the universities, but we're also able to get a piece of that by being able to profit us individually. And this goes for, all athletes, all students, and different things like that.
Beautiful. Well, final question. My boys that used to run a lot of the big Iowa podcasts and whatnot would kill me if they didn't have me ask you any fan experience things that you would change on campus there at Iowa. Anything that you would change?
Honestly, no. I kind of, when I was a kid, you'd walk around. My grandfather was a famous soccer player, so in Bosnia, when I'd walk around with him, everybody'd come up to him, ask for pictures, ask him for autographs, and I was just like, as this little kid, I was just dreaming, like, maybe one day that could be me. And it's really special to walk around the campus and have people recognize me, come up to me, share their story, share how I've impacted them in some way, and that means the world to me. So no, I don't think there's any fan experience that I look back on and was like, I wish that didn't happen. I've had a lot of fun meeting a lot of great people, and especially in Iowa, people are so amazing. They're so nice, and so it's so special to be able to meet with them, and hopefully, through my NFTs, I can connect with even more.
Beautiful. Well, Luka, I think that's a great way to close us out. Where can people find out more about the new company and what you're doing? Where can we send them?
Luka Garza NFT Group.io. that is going to be a place for you to go and find out more about the company and what our mission statement is, what we're trying to do, and then how we can help you effectively monetize your name, image, and likeness.
Beautiful. So we'll link to that in the show notes for everybody listening in every way that we can. Any Twitter handles or anything that we want to plug? Anything else before we close out here?
Yeah, I'm L Garza _55 on Instagram and Luka G _55 on Twitter.
Awesome. All right. Hey, Luka, it's been a pleasure having you, man. Good luck in finals.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity. I really appreciate it.
All right. We'll talk soon.
Awesome.
Today's episode is brought to you by Checked In, a new tool in your operations toolkit that helps you understand exactly who's working in your venue. It's one of the tech products the EngageMint team helped create during the pandemic, and with it, we set out to solve some of the key problems sports and entertainment operators face every day. The tool does a few things, from helping you gain more labor data to operate more efficiently and mitigate risk, and it also saves you time and headaches by automating the horrible check-in and credential approval process that has existed for so long. But my favorite part of Checked In, hands down, is that it's tied to a digital learning platform. Now, historically, training game day staff has taken place before the beginning of a season. But how do you train the workers that start mid-season, or the workers that just come in to work the big games, the big events? Well, this tool solves that issue. With Checked In, you can create and push training to your teammates digitally, and you can require employees to watch training videos before they're able to physically check in to work. Checked In has begun rolling out at some of the biggest stadiums in the country, and they're now opening up beta access on a limited basis. If you want to see how it works and get a demo, head to checkedin.app. That's CHECKDIN.app. We'll make it easy and link to it in the show notes. Hey guys, before you head out, just wanted to say thank you so much for listening to the show. If you enjoyed it, head over to iTunes to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. That helps more of your peers find the show as they search for ways to get better in their own roles. But this podcast is just a small part of what we do at EngageMint. In our normal day in the office, we're crazy focused on helping athletic departments and sports and entertainment companies generate more revenue by becoming more customer-centric. To see how we might be able to help your organization, visit EngageMintPartners.com to learn more. Download a free guide, check out our blogs and case studies, or schedule a call with us if you want to see how we can help with your particular objectives. Our goal is to help you create deeper connections with fans and generate more revenue. So when you're with us, hopefully you find a nugget or two that helps your cause.